Welcome, everyone, to the Win Anyway podcast. This is your host, Rich Hopkins, the Win Anyway guy. Today, we are going to take the Wayback Machine to, probably about 1977. I'm 9 years old, in the playground behind the elementary school. I'm definitely in the fourth grade, and I am preparing for the race of my life. A race for the right to be called The Flash. Yeah, I grew up on comic books. My favorite character was The Flash, who, if you don't know, is a superhero who, as police scientist Barry Allen, was struck by lightning, doused with chemicals in his laboratory that managed to create this incredible super speed within him. And while his origins changed over the years, essentially his powers have always been the same. He can run really fast. He can vibrate through walls. He can even run past the time barrier. And famously, he would race against Superman. And they would usually tie. Sometimes Superman would win. But Flash at one point told Superman, when Superman was saying, "Hey, I've beaten you in some of those races," Flash replied, "Yeah, but those races were for charity." So I think we all know who the fastest man alive truly was and is, in comic books at least. So my goal was to win the honor of being the Flash in my group of friends. My friend Jeff was Superman because he had the black hair and the curl and the Superman shirt. Norm, my other best friend, wanted to be the Flash. I wanted to be the Flash. So, what better sense did it make than to just have a race? Now, most of you know, well, I shouldn't say that because I have no idea who's listening actually. Many of you may know that I have a disability. Ever since I was born, my left leg smaller than my right leg. I limped. I just never had the strength because the nerve endings weren't as developed, so my left leg never had the muscle tissue that my right leg had. And I had a bunch of surgeries before I was even 10 years old. So at 9, I had probably just had a surgery within a couple of years prior to that and was due up for more. Those surgeries enabled me just to be able to walk. Now, of course, being a kid, if I could run, I'd run. And I ran. Often. I just didn't run all that fast. So Norm and I took off, and sure enough, Norm won the race. Norm won the right to be the Flash. I was stuck with Batman, which today is pretty cool to be Batman. Back then, I wasn't a big Batman fan at all. No superpowers. Really dark, gray, blue, black. Super suit didn't do much for me at all. I mean, he's always depressed and down. Anyway, I had to be Batman, which you'd think would be okay because he's kind of second rate to Superman, but technically way above the Flash. But when you don't get to be the character you want to be, that can be a bummer. Now, think about that. Do you get to be who you want to be in your real life? Or is somebody else preventing you from being that person? Well, guess what? Life is not a race between a couple of people, and there are not just a couple of people you can be. In fact, only you can be you. Only you can be the you want to be. Yeah, maybe somebody else is a better salesman, somebody else is a better speaker, somebody else is a better dancer or architect or basketball player, whatever it may be, whatever you want to do. Well, guess what? There is always going to be somebody better. There's always a bigger boat, as they say. But it doesn't stop you from being who you want to be, from claiming who you want to be, and being that person, continually getting better, continually learning more. I wasn't going to ever run any faster than Norm, at least in that situation. Now, we are, much older, and there is the possibility that in 15 years we'll both be in wheelchairs and I can ask him to race again for the honor of being the Flash. And I think I might win because I think I'll have stronger arms, and, well, I just think I'll win. Of course, Norm, you're probably not listening to this, but hey, the challenge is on. Meanwhile, I'm choosing to be who I want to be, regardless of who might be in my way or who else wants to be what I want to be, because they can't be who I want to be. Only I can. And only you can be who you want to be. And that is how you win anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Please give this a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. We're all over the place. We're on iTunes, we're on Libsyn. It's going to be on my blog and shared on Facebook and LinkedIn and everywhere else. Please stay tuned for the next installment coming up, well, who knows when. I'd love to say next week, but it could very well be next year. But we'll see if we can do a little bit better this time around. Here on the Win Anyway podcast.